So here we are. I don't know what this is. This might be number 12 or 13 or 14. I'm not really sure anymore. We're at Hope and Union in Stockton. If anyone's there, right before that's SIRF. That's the start of the Riverside Festival, isn't it?
Yep.
That must be this week.
That's right.
Cool.
And they're all getting ready for it.
Cool. I'm here with someone mega interesting for a couple of reasons, and I'll tell you about them in a minute. But go ahead and introduce yourself.
Right. My name's CHRIS Bicknell. I am the owner of a company called Home Fuels Direct, based in Stockton at the business centre. So yeah, I own a business which we're a UK-wide online heating oil supply business, but we're specifically an online business. That's our niche.
Cool. I'm going to get into that in a minute because everyone knows how that came about. But first of all, I've got to jump in with the fact that I can't believe we went to school together.
Yeah.
And we don't look like we're that far apart age-wise.
Yeah, I do look a lot younger.
But I just started senior school and you were in year 11.
Yeah, I was at the higher end of the school and you were at the lower end. So I don't know, it's about an 7-year difference between us.
Yeah, I'm 28 now.
Right, yeah, well, I'm 36. So 36.
Yeah, so I need 9 years.
So we went to the same school and we didn't really cross paths.
No.
But
you remembered me, which...
Yeah, well, I think there was only 350 people in the school, from the youngest to the eldest, so there was always familiar faces.
People there, yeah. I remember looking down that corridor, I told you, didn't I? Looking down the corridor in the morning and you were a prefect and you stood right at the end. And like, I remember thinking, man, all these year 11s are proper tall, I'll be dead tall when I get that age. And it just didn't work out.
But I was extremely tall for my age anyway, and I still am, yeah.
And
I've just put a bit more weight on since then.
Okay. And you've got a twin brother, right? Are you going to give him a shout, or does he not get one?
I don't know if he watches it. Hello, Andrew. I mean, he's not as good looking as me, but we're identical in every other way.
In every other way.
Yeah.
Nice one. Cool. Okay, so
I'd just like to confirm this is an exotic sparkling water and not a gin and tonic.
Not like the one I had with Matt the other day.
No.
Which is a shame because we had a bit of a laugh, but you know, maybe we'll do that next time. How did you end up starting an online heating oil business? Because that makes no sense to me.
No, it didn't make much sense to me at the time. So I'll just give you a quick overview. So as I said earlier, I set the business up in 2008, and prior to that, I did work for my father, my uncle, and I was a long distance lorry driver.
Yeah.
Sleep in my truck, all sorts.
When you say long distance, is that UK wide?
UK wide.
Right.
UK wide. And so I did that for 3 years, and then that came to an end. Family business sold off, and I had to go and get a proper job working for somebody else. So I got a job working for, I won't name the company, but I got a job working for one of the big oil distributors, or one of the big oil companies in the world. A very recognisable brand. Did not enjoy it one little bit. It was a horrible job. You were literally just a bit of a cliche. You're a number on a payroll. Well, I had a reasonably good job, managing the distribution to the northeast of England, right down to sort of western parts of South Yorkshire. So on paper it was a very good job, but I just did not float my boat at all. It just wasn't for me. So I did that for about 14 months, and during that whole time, after about 3 or 4 months of doing that job, I just thought there's got to be more to the working life than this.
Yeah.
I mean, when I set up Home Fuels Direct and we first started trading on the 1st of July 2008, that's my birthday. So
Was that deliberate?
It wasn't deliberate,
right.
But a lot of things in my life seem to happen around the July period anyway. Okay. So it was coincidence, but there's always something that happens around my birthday. So it was obviously meant to be.
Yeah.
So on the 1st of July, I just turned 26. So it was the right time for me. If it didn't work out, at 26, you've got the time to recover and start again and get yourself dusted down and go for it again. So it was basically, I just needed to be fulfilled and enjoy something I was doing. And that was the start of the adventure, really, to the present day.
Yeah, and
Loved it. And here I am drinking exotic water with you.
That's it, yeah.
In Stockton.
It's kind of weird that happens because, we've just been talking about what you're in pursuit of. People have seen on the video already. And I've asked you what you're in pursuit, and I'm not going to ask you right now, although I am later on, in a different way. But it's weird that you've said that at 26, you've gone, actually, there's got to be much more to this. There's got to be fulfillment. I've got to enjoy what I'm doing. And something I say to a lot of young people when I'm talking in schools is, like, it's okay not to love your job. You know, there's a lot of this school of thought that if you hate it, you hate it, but if you don't, you're supposed to love it. I don't love every day I go to work.
Yeah.
There's no way I love every day I go to work. But I quite like what I'm in pursuit of. I'm enjoying what I'm in pursuit of, and that's what makes even the bad bits enjoyable if you've got the right
I always
mindset.
think, and it's a very basic way of looking at it, but I think it's the same when you go to school when you're a kid. And the same thing applies when you're in a job you hate. If you go to bed on a Sunday night and you can't stand that Sunday feeling of knowing that the alarm clock's going to go off on Monday and you've got to start a week of boringness,
That's it, yeah.
then that is the time to correct what you're doing and get a grip of it and change it.
Yeah.
And that was me. You know, I didn't enjoy Sunday nights, so that was the moment when I thought, right, something's got to change here.
But you're a real rage monster.
A rage monster.
Yeah, that's what I call myself. That's what I was like when I hated my job.
Right.
I was just angry with everyone all the time. Like it was everyone else in the world's fault but mine.
Right. Okay.
And I wasn't blaming them, but from the outside it looked like I was just angry at everybody because I didn't enjoy anything. Were you like that? Or
No.
Sunday night we kind of chilled, but knowing you didn't want to go in.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't say I was a rage monster, and no, I could control myself or whatever. But no, I just wasn't happy. I just didn't enjoy it. It was a miserable thing to do something you don't enjoy, and having my own business was something I always wanted.
Yeah.
So
it's the ultimate, isn't it?
Yeah, and because you're in control of something. If it goes wrong, it's gone wrong because of you.
Yeah.
At least you're in control of it.
Yeah.
To a degree, anyway.
Yeah.
And that was the main thing. That was the drive to have something I've created and to turn it into something.
It is the ultimate. I talk about it all the time, and young people, and there's this big buzz about entrepreneurship and starting your own business, that kind of thing. And I think it's great because I think it is quite achievable. I come from skateboard culture, and a lot of that came up as I was coming up. People starting their own businesses, starting businesses in the skateboarding industry. Some of the big pro skateboarders did well because instead of getting paid by a brand, they ended up owning part of a brand. So they ended up making money on the back end rather than just to wear the clothes or whatever.
Yeah.
I think anyone can do it. I'm just careful sometimes because it's way harder than it looks. It's not as fun. And I don't know how you feel. Like it's not what it looks like in the magazines when you read about Elon Musk and these guys. Like he was just bouncing from awesome invention to awesome invention. It's not like that.
I'm sure he's had his sweaty moments.
Yeah, I'm sure. And same as I have. I'm sure you've had the same thing. But when it is fun, it's really fun.
Yeah, no, and I've learned over the last 10 years, when something's going well, enjoy that moment.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be that moment when the rug's pulled away from you and you're left scratching your head thinking, right, how do I get back to that fun moment?
Yeah.
So when something's going right and it's working, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because they're the moments that bring you back round to that point at some point.
Yeah. And equally, don't dwell on the bad bits.
No, just learn from them.
Yeah, if you think about all the bad bits all the time, you'll never let them go, and you'll be stuck in just a cycle of thinking about. But I was talking to a young lad the other day and saying, there's people around your life who are always focused on the negatives. That thing you did wrong. If I did that, there's way more things go wrong in my day than in a normal working day than go right.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the same for you.
Well, they always say to make a success of anything, more things have to go right than go wrong.
Yeah.
But I
But you're
don't
not in
know.
startup mode anymore. I think
I don't know that that's technically right, but you just got to make sure the stuff that goes right outweighs the stuff that goes wrong.
Yeah, I agree. And that's easier 10 years down the line than when you're in startup mode. When you're in startup mode, everything's a battle, everything's a new experience.
Well, when you're in startup mode, there's something and I've learned this. There's something called stupidity tax, where now if you could do things in hindsight, you could save yourself a fortune.
Yeah.
But when you're the first 18 months when you start up, somebody might suggest something, you're naive to it, you might think it's a good idea because they've said it, but the reality is they might just want you as a customer and spend money with them.
Yeah.
So you go along with it, but over time, so long as you evolve and get to understand that there is a stupidity tax, but that can only be tolerated for so long.
Yeah.
And you've got to quickly wise up to what's good tax. Not that there is many good taxes, but the stupidity tax. Stay away from the stupidity tax.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, tell me about startup mode then. What it was like for you when 10 years ago. 10 years ago?
First, we
So you just turned 10.
we just turned 10 on the 1st of July of this year. So
celebration.
So yeah, so
Wow.
I mean, the startup mode for me was we first started trading on the 1st of July 2008.
No customers.
No, nothing. But there was a little bit of preparation before then. But in true CHRIS BICKNELL fashion, doing research, laying the foundations correctly, doing things in methodical, timed fashion, didn't apply.
Yeah, that's not me.
Just did not apply.
I'm with you.
It was like a bull in a china shop,
Yeah.
or a like a wasp stuck in a pint glass, just bouncing off everything. And I've always said, any time I've tried to plan something or be methodical,
It's gone wrong.
it's always gone wrong,
Yeah.
because you've got too much time to think.
I feel the same.
Sometimes it's good just to be a bit knee-jerk and
Yeah.
off the cuff. So that's pretty much how it's gone to this point. But startup mode was quite literally leaving my job with the big oil company, and the next day being in my spare room at home, thinking, right, what am I doing now?
Well,
And just the psychology, firstly, of not knowing that you haven't actually got an income. That's
Yeah.
the big thing, the psychological thing of like, oh crap,
yeah.
I need to start earning money here because I've got some just general day-to-day overheads in my life
Yeah.
that I need to cover. So startup was a fun. I'd say startup for me went on for about 2 years,
Right.
trying to find your feet,
I think it's about right.
and then, but it was fun, you know, getting a website developed, trying to understand what my customers wanted, trying to work out who my customers were, where they were, trying to develop a process. There was nothing in place,
Yeah,
absolutely
figure out
nothing.
how to reach them.
Things. Me leaving the company and the job I had, and me leaving happened very quickly.
Right.
Quick, and I'm pleased it happened that way, because if I'd had planned to leave in an orderly fashion, it probably wouldn't have happened. Because
So did you just walk in one day with your notice and be like, I'm not doing this anymore?
Well, the reality is, and I don't really like to say this, I was more or less.
Well, don't say if you don't want it.
No, well, I'll say it. But because I've said it before. I was more or less asked to leave.
Right. Okay.
So because I think my boss could see that
Yeah.
I was probably looking to get out, so he just said, "Look, leave.
Yeah.
If you want to leave, leave." And the opportunity was there and then.
It's quite fair of him.
So I did, and it was the best thing I could have done. And he was also very fair about it.
Wow.
So and it was, you know, and maybe because he wanted me to leave because I wasn't very good at my job. we probably helped each other out.
Yeah, maybe.
So yeah, it was the best thing he could have done, because if you have too much time to think about it, sometimes you don't ever get round to it, and you can scare yourself.
I talk about overthinking all the time.
Yeah.
You can overthink and plan, and while you're doing that, someone like me who's actually doing it and
Yeah.
figuring it out as you go along. And I don't know if there's a right or a wrong. There's loads of times I wish I'd stopped for 10 minutes a day, 3 weeks, I don't know, like, and just thought and planned a little bit better than some of the things I've done. And sometimes they go fine. I sent a load of gifts from the business in Durham yesterday. I bought the gifts. I'll give him a shout out because the guy's coming on the show, Durham Distillery.
Right.
And if you've seen, they make gin and vodka and now a whiskey, I think, up in Durham. Bought a load of their product just to send out to tell our clients up there that we love them and whatever. And it's nice, and they've started posting on social media today. It's class. So I bought them, and I thought I'll just be able to go to the post office and buy bottle boxes, those inflatable little bags to put them in. Everything would be dead easy, but it wasn't that easy. I had to order them online, and it took a while, and you know. But I still rocked up to the office yesterday with a marker pen and just wrote addresses on boxes and just started putting things in. Like, I'm unbelievably disorganised, but it's gone fine.
Yeah, it's a rustic look.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, and it worked, and it's worked out perfectly well. And the stuff inside's got there. It would appear all okay. And I'm taping boxes up, hoping things don't fall at the bottom. So while I was doing it, I was thinking, I wish I'd just spent 20 minutes just saying, this is what I need, this, you know, and then really thought about it and done it in advance. But not all the time. I quite like to bounce and figure it out
Sometimes
as you go along.
that's what you do need to get things going. Because I do think sometimes you can overthink things, and it can be that if you overthink it, you can ruin the magic a little
What's
bit.
your biggest overthinking fuck up? Because I know what mine is.
Overthinking. What's yours first?
We had a thank you party 2 Novembers ago, maybe 3 Novembers ago, our accountants, Evolution, now Baldwin's at the time, posted it for us. Their office was brand fire new at the time, like a couple of weeks old. And I think about how much public speaking and talking to kids I do in the course of a year, or that I've done in the last 10 years with clients and all kinds of things. I thought about this one speech that I was going to give at this thank you party for like 3 weeks straight. Then I stuttered, stammered, got lost, thanked the same person 3 times, and then eventually someone, still think it was Emily, just went, yeah, everyone, well done Steve, and like kind of clapped me off. And I was like, shit, I didn't
encourage you up.
Yeah, I didn't say anything I meant to say there at all. And and then the next time I went and spoke, like this, none of these have been scripted. There's 2 questions I know I'm going to ask you at the end.
Right,
that's
okay.
it.
Right. Can't wait.
That's all that's going to happen. So what about you?
Overthinking? Oh, Jesus. God, I mean, we are a website business. Probably, I don't know if it's going to make good viewing listening to this. Just overthinking a process on the website. Yeah. I mean, it sounds a bit geeky and a bit, but you can put too much time into the wrong aspect and overthinking stuff, and it just takes time and attention away from other stuff you can be focusing on. Yeah. Like I could write a book on how not to run a business from the start, and genuinely could have saved myself tens of thousands of pounds over the time. I think that's the only advice I can actually give. And that's where your stupidity tax comes in. That's it, yeah. I think I'm pretty sure that's the only advice I could give people now is don't do this. I could write a list of things not to do, and then I'll tell you some of the things that work for me, but I think the things that work for me won't work for you. I don't know what these Durham distillery bottles are going to do for us. The intention is really just, and we wrote a nice little note. We're not trying to make sales as a result of giving these bottles away. We just want, in the handwritten note it says at the bottom, we're on a mission and we can't do it without you. Yeah. And that applies to everyone that we work with, but on this occasion to the people who sent these gifts. So they might love us for that, they might hate us for it, it might make them do loads more business, it might make them do the same amount of business. You could do that to all your customers, would it make a difference to your business? You don't know unless you tried, No. But we're genuinely just trying to say thanks for what you've done. If you've done something with us of a certain size, you've got that bottle. If you've done something with us and it's smaller, you haven't got one, but you're going to get something else. We've got a big gifting program lined up. I just wanted to take it that way. Yeah. I don't know. I could write a list of things that we've tried that didn't work, and we're just trying to be nice. We're not trying to grow the business. We grow the business a different way. Yeah. So I know how school was for you was from a social point of view. Loved it. And I hated it, and that's really weird. No, I think we were told it, because we have discussed previously about your school experience, and my school experience was hilarious. I just treated school like a social club. Yeah. Academically useless, not me, that is. Academically challenged, academically useless. I probably ruined my year's GCSE results, me and my brother alone, single-handedly pulled the average right down. But we had a really good laugh, and I like to think I had a wider education as opposed to just focus on the academics aspect of it. Because school was not my strong point. No. So I mean, I got and it's quite funny. It actually wasn't that funny at the time, because the only reason I got the result I got is because I spelled my name right. But I got a U in my maths GCSE, which is appalling, really. Yeah. You spend all in my maths. Wow. But if you go on the opposite, I got a B in my English. Right. Okay. So, but when it came to maths, it's just something I was useless at. It doesn't make sense to me. It does not make sense. Can you do mental arithmetic then? I'm not great at it, but I know the difference. If I need to add up quickly about how much profit we can make or how much money we're going to lose, I can work that out. Yeah. And I can do it quite quickly. But as soon as you start going into fractions and algebra and all that kind of stuff, you may as well put double Dutch in front of me and ask me to sort that out. I really don't see numbers well at all. No. I don't know, I was talking to you recently about 4 plus 3. It was like yesterday or today. I can't remember. And I was like, is that 7 or 9? And I wasn't joking. Well, it's 12. That's if I wasn't getting it wrong. Yeah. It just doesn't work in my mind. I have to take a lot of time over maths. Yeah. So I just don't do maths. Well, I have a big calculator on my desk. How big? Big. I mean, we're talking big. Mine's pretty big. Big. I'm going to have to send you a picture of mine, because mine's as big as your notepad. Yeah, that's a big notepad. So I'll give you the calculator, I don't need it. So I don't have a problem using a calculator. But no, you're academically completely challenged. So you know, it was school was something that, as far as I was concerned, I was sad to be leaving it because I loved all my mates. It was a good laugh, but I knew, and I went to college after that. But as far as, and I did a GMVQ in business. So I wanted to try and stay away from as much academic stuff as possible.
Yeah.
And I knew as soon as I'd finished my 2 years at college, that was me finished.
Yeah.
University.
No more education.
No more, because it wasn't fair in the education system.
Yeah.
And the teacher was trying to teach me.
Right.
Because I think I was extremely frustrating to teach.
Really?
Just
Well,
nothing,
so was I. From
nothing
what I
stuck. I'm
yeah.
sure I was a lovely, pleasant pupil,
It was different from the other.
but
yeah,
nothing
okay.
stuck.
Okay, so there was only maths that wouldn't stick, and like it turns out you're not stupid. You weren't called stupid. Unfortunately, by some of the teachers that taught me, I was called stupid. I was told that I'd be lucky to be a bin man, and I kind of see now that they were trying to motivate me. Maybe their heart was in the right place, but it's not really the motivation you need as a young person. That's not.
It depends on
It's not what I want to hear.
I think it depends on the individual.
Yeah. That will motivate me.
No, I think it's, I suppose if you're under the age of 16, there's a fine line of what motivates a 16-year-old. I imagine teachers, like any of us, they have their off days, and I'm sure that teacher may have regretted saying it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a bin man.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with being a bin man at all. But everybody's different how they get motivated. But I was always under the impression it was always spelled home because we were at the same school, so we were brought up on the same ethos. And you probably agree with me that when I was there, I won't name the school or the teachers, but there was 2 or 3 teachers that made it very clear that if you fail your GCSEs, you know, life is going to be a big long struggle after this. Which used to scare me because when you're 15, 16, you don't know much different. So I was always worried. So it turns out it's not the case. Turns out it's not the case.
Okay.
At all.
So I'm going to have to say this because I always have to every time we end up talking about GCSEs because a lot of schools use this. This resource is increasingly being used in schools and career lessons. And I don't want to say it can really easily be construed that I'm saying GCSEs don't matter. And look, this guy said it too, so they really mustn't matter. Now, my way of describing this is that if you do well in your GCSEs or do as well as you can in your GCSEs, things will be easier.
You know, look, if I was an A-star pupil, life would have been easier. You would have had more options open to you.
Yeah.
But you still got to do something. You've got to be creative with those options.
Yeah. You could still go to university and do nothing.
Yeah.
So I always say that. And secondly, what I always try and finish off with is that somewhere, unless you intend on being on welfare, on the dole for the rest of your life, hard work's going to come somewhere.
Yeah.
Whether you're working for an oil company, whether you're running your own business, whether you're going to uni, going to college, whatever those handful of things are, hard work's going to come.
Yeah.
So you might as well start doing it at your GCSEs and just don't stop. You can take breaks. I've just been telling you, I've got the summer off. Do you kind of get the summer off because?
No, we step it up.
Right.
We step it up ready for the winter.
Yeah.
So.
So we've kind of got.
There is a downturn in business.
Yeah.
But we step up the development of the business in the summer, ready for the onslaught in the winter.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. How can I ask this? I know what you've asked me not to ask. How mad is it in the winter?
Chaos.
Really, like.
But in a fun way.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Is it like?
No, it's
12-hour days. Everyone. Like.
Yeah, I mean.
Phones ringing. Like.
I mean, especially the winter we had. It was a good winter. It depends how you qualify a good winter. Snow is always bad for anything because eventually there's a distribution aspect. Yeah. Snow just slows and stops distribution. But in terms of, we were busy every day from end of November right through to the end of April. Manic, absolutely manic. And it's I enjoy it because I'm the owner of the business. So the main thing is for me is seeing all the hard work we put in over the 12 months development to get to this point paying off. Don't get me wrong, you have your moments where you think, I just want this to stop for a little bit just so I can have a breather.
Yeah.
but you know, your adrenaline kicks in. You just
Just keep going.
yeah, it's a drug.
Yeah.
It's a drug, and you know when you're busy, you know your business is making money. You don't mind doing 50 an hour day.
Yeah.
You don't mind it at all.
And when you're running the business, you haven't really got a choice.
Because when you're doing a 15-hour day and you're not making progress, I imagine that grates.
Yeah.
But yeah, love it. But it is chaos, absolutely chaos.
You're kind of leading me, which is weird. Like I'm about to say something, and you kind of nearly get there anyway.
Tell me to shut up.
No, I like it. So you've been saying, you just said there that you run the business. So what do you actually do to run the business? Because everyone's different, you know. Like I think about, we were just talking about my dad earlier on. My dad is in doing, you know, he's working in the business all the time, transactional, all that stuff. I try and balance myself between working in the business and working on the business, because I think you can ignore one and make a mistake. What do you do day to day? Is it sales? Is it admin? Like what is it?
Everything. I'm extremely hands-on. Extremely hands-on. So I'll work with the guys in our office, and I'll do everything that they do. It's okay, and we don't get me wrong. We have our own little roles and own little jobs.
Yeah.
But in terms of me, I will turn my hand to anything, depending on what is required at that moment in time.
So if someone rang up, I know you're an online business, but presumably you still get phone calls.
Yeah.
People's finding online. Someone rings up, could you answer the phone as equally likely as anybody else?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I try not to,
Yeah.
but it won't stop me from answering it.
No. If it's ringing it, you answer it. That's
Yeah, absolutely. And it's important to. Everyone's different. I personally find that I need to understand my business.
Yeah.
Keep
You've got to be in it.
Keep my finger on the pulse.
Yeah.
And a lot of those conversations you have with customers is part of the development process that we're in now. So there will be reoccurring themes that you might get from these phone calls, and that's all part of the development process. But also in the middle of the winter, you know, we could probably do with 1,000 people in the office. We don't have 1,000 people in the office, so everybody is required. Everybody is important within that operation.
Wow. Have you ever took on an intern or a work experience or a...
Yeah, one of the key guys in our business, I won't name him, but he...
You don't want to give him a shout out?
No, but he knows
I do it to Dan all the time.
He knows who he is.
Right.
They know.
No, you named him. Okay.
He came to me as an apprentice.
Wow.
8 years ago. It'll be 8 years this December.
So that was the hardcore apprenticeship. Let's not get the young people that are watching now confused. That was the apprenticeship where they turned up and you could just pay them minimum wage.
I mean, it was quick. I quickly realised with Dave that he was a cut above straight away. So we quickly, he was on an apprenticeship program, but you know I wouldn't say he was fast tracked really. You get a lot of responsibility because he was good. He developed well. He didn't take much. It didn't take him long to pick things up. He knew where he was going. So no, you know, it was very clear right from the outset. He was a very capable guy. On the other, but I had another apprentice 3 years after that, and I'm not going to be cruel about the lad because he meant well and he tried hard, but he just wasn't up to it.
Yeah.
He just wasn't capable, unfortunately. Sure. So, but it is a lottery, absolutely. But yeah, going down the apprenticeship route for anybody who might not be wanting to go to college or university, because a lot of businesses now will do degree courses. A lot of companies will want you to get a degree to go into their degree program or graduate program. It's something I don't think people should rush to do, if I'm honest with you, because the way I see it is if you can get into a business as part of an apprenticeship, all right, you might not be starting off on a big wage like somebody on the graduate program, but you are probably going to get 3 or 4 years head start on those individuals, which makes a massive difference.
I don't know how many times I've said that.
Because everybody goes to university nowadays, and when everyone goes to university, it just devalues the whole system.
Yeah.
So
when my dad went to university, it was elite.
Yeah.
Like, and he went. There was still a full grammar school system when he went to university, so you were divided at that point. you know, and whether I'm a big fan of that or not, I'm not really sure either. But the value of a degree was much higher on my dad.
Yeah.
Same as yours, probably.
Absolutely, it was the best of the best went to university, and then everybody that didn't quite cut that level went and got on with life and got a job.
Yeah.
Whereas now it seems to be that, you know, you have to go to university regardless.
It's ultimately accessible,
Yeah,
except it costs you a shitload of money that you don't realise you're going to have to pay back eventually.
absolutely. Yeah.
And that's, no, but actually, and if that was a service, would you pay for it? You know, if someone offered you what the university system gives you, and then gave you the bill or the estimate or whatever, would you pay for it? Because you would, because that's what they're ultimately providing a service.
Yeah, no, they are providing. It's without trying to be too cynical about it. It's a business providing a service, but the idea that you spend $8,000 a year or whatever it is over 4 years, it doesn't really excite me. I'd rather spend that time learning a career and getting paid for it, and hopefully having an advantage over the people that have gone to university. So the ironic thing is, you end up teaching the graduate.
Yeah.
And showing them the way.
Same as me. I'm sat in high-level meetings by the time I'm 22, 23. People are starting to come out of university. You know, people out of school are coming out of university who are still trying to get their first jobs.
Yeah.
And I'm doing business all over the world. I'm travelling the country. You know, it's ridiculous. It doesn't always work out like that for everybody, but I think you've got to be aware of all of the options and what your route is. If you've got to go to university, you've got to go to university.
Yeah, you've got to play to your strengths.
You've got to go there.
You've got to play to your strengths.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think I'd want a brain surgeon who hasn't been to university operating on my head.
No.
So you've got to play to your strengths. And if you need a degree, then you've got to buckle down and get that degree.
Yeah.
But if there's you know, so many jobs out there, you don't need a degree. In my opinion, for example, to work in marketing, you don't need a degree for that. You need to get stuck in and just understand what the customer or the consumer wants, and then work out the best way to sell that and push that product. It's just the wrong alternative for so many people.
The amount of small business owners who are the best marketers, like that I come across, like you'll have figured out where your customers are, how you need to reach them. But you're not a marketing expert.
No.
You just figured out, I've got this, and I want people, the people that like it to buy it, and people that don't like it, I don't want to be interested in it.
Yeah.
Then you've got to go and figure it out. I think small business owners are the best marketers most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have to be.
You said
because it saves you a lot of money.
Yeah, dead right. Yeah. You said you have had apprentices. What about interns?
No.
Or work experience?
No.
Because that's the other side of
Not
things.
that I've got anything against that.
No,
it's
you
just
haven't done it.
it's just that we haven't gone down that path. And not to say we won't.
I'm not trying to press you into it, and I wouldn't do that because that's not right. But some of the young people we work with in the charity won't achieve the standard they need to be at to get an apprenticeship. They won't achieve a C in maths and English or whatever it is, some weird number now. They've got a numbered system now. So your A stars, B's, C's, U's, whatever, don't matter.
I wouldn't like to what a U is.
No. Well, I don't know. I know someone the other day said they got. I can't remember if they said they got a 1. I think that was it. They got a 1. I was like, oh, it's amazing. It turns out 1's really bad. I don't know if it was the other way around. And those young people aren't suited to going on to college for whatever reason. They might be a whole host of things. Maybe they come from a family that doesn't encourage that kind of thing. Maybe the need's a bit more immediate. Maybe they just don't have the social ability to go to college and do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
The way into the job market for them is businesses that are saying, right, come and work for us for free in the summer.
Right.
You know, even if it's 3 days, you can come in, you can sit next to Dino, watch what he's doing, find out exactly how he does his day to day, and then you can go away. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. You don't come back. If you're disruptive, you're out. And if you're good, there might be an opportunity for you. We had a young lad a couple of years ago now, when I think about it, 2 years ago, did one in the summer with a business in Hartlepool. Loved it.
Yeah.
Went straight back to year 11 because he was at year 10 summer one. Did 2 weeks, went straight back into year 11 and said, right, I need maths and English here to see because these lot are doing apprenticeships. I already know I want to do it.
Yeah.
I already know I like it. I already know I like the people. I'm getting in there for my apprenticeship program.
He'll find his feet.
Yeah, that's it. And he could equally have gone in there and said, I don't like this.
Yeah.
You know, someone might go, I don't like selling heat very much. But either way, if they do a decent work experience, you know, a couple of 3, 4, 5 days, 2 weeks, and they don't even have to put it on a CV. We've got a format where a lad's done some and they've written down what he's done in the course of his 6 months, 1 day a week.
Yeah.
They can take that to an employer and say, actually, yeah, my CV's a bit bad, but I've done this. And I kind of feel like businesses, and again, I'm not trying to pressure anyone into doing this, you or anyone, business people watching, but for the cost, there won't be any cost. Your insurance, there will be no change to your insurance, I'm convinced. I'm not an expert in anything that doesn't float, don't get me wrong, but I doubt that there's that much of an impact. But the social impact you can make for those young people is huge.
Absolutely.
And there's some great businesses that do it. It doesn't suit everybody. If you're a busy, small business, it's hard. Because if you've got to pass your knowledge on, but you're busy, you can't give them the value.
Yeah.
So it's got to be done right. But
That has to be done right, and it has to be done in a way that you're sticking with the right individual within that business for them to shadow. 9 times out of 10, I'm sure it's more. Any business can do that.
yeah,
It's just making sure you put them with the right person within that business.
and I think have you had any approaches for that?
We have, and we have not for about a year, but it's something we will. It's something we will consider.
When the time
When the time's right, it's something we'll consider. Absolutely.
Where does he get the approaches from? I'm just digging a little bit because I've got a point to make, which I'm going to make anyway.
One of them was from a college, about 20 miles away, which seemed quite far away for them to do it, but yeah.
That seems really weird. So that's kind of the point I was going to make. They come from, maybe from social workers, probably from colleges or schools. You know, I don't think they're particularly well targeted, and they're just kind of, there's these work experience weeks that they've got, and they're like, oh, they'll just stick him in there because then the job's done.
Yeah.
I don't believe in them. They've got to be targeted. And the problem is you might not find young people that are interested in selling heating oil.
You've got to play to their strengths.
Yeah. But what else is in your business? It's not just selling heating oil. That's what you do to make money. That's just the service you provide, the product you provide. But imagine all the stuff that goes on.
Yeah, there's an infrastructure around it. You know, the admin. I mean, admin's in all businesses.
Yeah.
But there's an IT aspect, there's a marketing aspect,
Sales.
there's a sales, there's a looking after a customer's user experience, going through from the start of the process to the end of the process. Yeah. You know, there's always a cottage industry within our little business.
Yeah, I don't know how it all works, and I don't want you to tell me, but you might have like let's go to a big company, Virgin Media, have an inbound and an outbound department.
Yeah.
They're two very, very different skills, types of people, all kinds of things. You know, you could spend a year bouncing around Virgin, trying all the departments. You know, in Virgin Media's empire or whatever. They could do it much quicker in your business. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Get a good grounding in everything.
Absolutely. We're a smaller business. Everyone's accessible. So yeah, things happen quicker in smaller businesses.
Yeah, sure.
You've got your finger on the pulse. So yeah, of course that's absolutely right.
So basically, email Chris, and then everyone can get into it. No, it's not. But it is important. We're looking at for the charity next year where we're going to get someone to come and edit these videos down. Someone who wants to be in something to do with
make them even slicker.
Yeah, that's it. Because I mean, we're up to 38 minutes now. We're nearly done. This is going to be a quick one. But the one with Matthew Ward was like an hour and 10. Like, not many people are going to sit for an hour and 10.
Is that one where we sat with gin and tonic?
Yeah. So now you've said it, you've kind of led me to it. So now we sat with gin and tonics in glasses that were made by Daisy Arts and Crafts. Now the reason I'm really into that is they're hand painted gin glasses, and I think places like this should have some floating around. You know, they're like trendy independent bars and restaurants, sets them apart a little bit. But you made us those two for free, the orange one and the blue one, and Matt didn't get one because I took them both home and I've given them away as gifts to other people. But I think they're really cool, and we're going to try and use them as gifts in the business in Durham.
Okay.
So we've sent some gin to some people, then we might send.
Well, feel free to send me any gin.
Glasses. Well, that's it. Or maybe you can do it. Maybe you send your customised, personalised glasses and gins.
Good idea.
I'm not putting ideas in your head. So there's two questions I want to ask at the end. But what do you think? Actually, I've got two I'm going to ask you first as well. Where do you think you'd be now if you had been a better student?
Well, if I'd been a better academic student,
Yeah. Because it sounds like you were a bit of a model student in terms of behaviour, which is the opposite to me.
Well, compared to you, by the sounds of it, that wouldn't have been hard, from what I understand.
True.
Academically, that's a really good. Well, academically, what I always wanted to be in an ideal world, if I. And look, it shouldn't. If I wanted to, I'm sure I could still do it. It's just a harder route to it. I always wanted to be an airline pilot.
Okay.
Always wanted to be an airline pilot.
Okay.
But when you get a U and maths GCSE, you're pretty much at the bottom of the ladder.
I can picture you as an airline pilot.
Yeah, I just like the idea of the uniform.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to be an airline pilot. And
It's a shame you're not a quirky business owner, because you could kick everyone out in airline uniforms.
I think that's weird.
Fair enough. Maybe not.
Change company policy.
Yeah, that's it.
So I always wanted to be an airline pilot. Not that. So I don't know where that would have taken me, but if I had because at that early stage, say for example I got an A in my maths GCSE, and then I went on to college and got an A in my, or passed with flying colours on the pun in my maths course, then it was something I was really keen on doing.
You'd have pursued that.
I would have pursued it, but getting a U in my maths GCSE put me off, because I knew I'd have to go back down the academic route.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to stay out of that.
And you were self-aware enough to get it. I know a lot of people won't, but I don't think I was probably self-aware enough to know that I didn't want to be academic anymore and I wanted to go and do this. I just wanted to be the hell out of school.
Yeah.
And that's for a couple of reasons. Isn't it weird that everyone's got the same ringtone and everyone looks at their phone to make sure it's not them? All I'm desperate for is someone to ring and then me to be able to shout them out on the video. That hasn't happened yet, and I'm desperate for it to happen. What was the second question I was going to ask? How hard did you work in the run up to GCSE?
I didn't.
Right, that was very honest.
No, I just didn't. In fact, I regret not even working harder.
No.
But in terms of retaining information, if I'm not interested in a subject, I cannot retain it.
Yeah.
I need to understand this subject. I need to want to know it. I need to be interested in it to retain the information. I just remember sitting in my bedroom, looking around, looking out the window, finding anything to do except study.
Yeah.
And I always used to. This is silly, really. I used to I used to go through my books at school when I was revising, and I had a bright orange marker pen or a bright yellow marker pen.
Right.
And in my own little head, I used to kid myself, thinking, "Oh, the more lines I put through, obviously I'm going to be learning that information." So I used to just mark the hell out of pages, saying, "Yes, obviously you learned that. I've retained it. I know it all now." That technique doesn't work unless you actually retain
unless you try
the information.
Yeah, I like that.
So if you see me wandering around with a bright yellow marker pen,
you're not listening.
I'm not listening.
Awesome. I like it. Do I want to ask something about you starting a business? I think I probably do. I'm just trying to think about what's...
If I want a bit of advice, I would give. When you're up and running or you're thinking about getting going. And it's something you don't really hear people mention a lot of, but it's such a crucial thing, is your cash flow.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Because, I mean, you might not be the most profitable business in the world, which makes it even more reason why you have to manage your cash flow.
Yeah.
You might not have the best business in the world, but some of the best businesses in the world don't manage the cash flow.
Yeah.
And if you don't have any cash in the business, you cannot do anything.
No,
you're useless.
Yeah.
You're just a ship bobbing up and down the ocean without an engine.
Yeah.
You are absolutely useless.
Yeah.
So you just need to manage the cash in, the cash out.
That's it.
And it's a very basic thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes people get a bit too carried away. They might see a figure in the business bank account.
Yeah.
And
look at that.
oh, look at that. But once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
And you need to be careful how you pay it out and what you're spending it on.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that equally applies to. It's a skill that we're trying to. We're going to be working with some younger groups over the next couple of years. We're staging it down, and we want someone to come in and do something similar with personal money. Because I think managing your own personal cash flow is important.
Well, your personal life is more or less a bit like a business.
Yeah.
You know, it's money in, money out.
Yeah.
You can't pay out if you haven't got it in. So
that's it.
It's a similar process.
And sometimes you get it and you lax it and it's gone. And like Matt mentioned it on his video, he bought a 250 quid Armani jacket because his brother had one or something, so he could look like his brother, but he was paying that back till like last year or something. Like it cost him $7,000 in the end. Like it's
sounds like a good deal for someone.
Yeah, someone did well there.
Yeah.
But I think being realistic with it, and, it's easy to spend money you haven't got. I think.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it used to be easier. I think it was easier to get a credit card maybe when you were 18 than when I was 18. You get when you were 18, they haven't quite figured out the regulations yet. You could get one, burn it, then be like, oh, shit, I'm paying this back for the rest of my life. And you're smiling like you didn't do it.
No, I did. That's how I set the business up.
Really?
Yeah, I maxed out 3 credit cards.
Wow.
With $10,000 on each. That's how I got the cash flow of the business going. Wow. It's very stupid.
Really?
Very stupid.
You think?
Yeah, well, no, it's extremely risky.
How else would you have done it?
Very slowly. Very slowly. This almost forced it. But yeah, that's how the cash flow of the business got going. Just maxing out credit cards.
It's big. Sometimes you got to take a risk.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. It's extremely risky.
Yeah, it's not good financial advice.
No, I wouldn't. It's not good sound advice.
No.
But
But that focused your mind though.
yeah, because you need to pay back every month.
Yeah.
Every month.
Yeah. And then what happens if you don't?
Oh, you're in
I know
trouble.
what happens. It goes
You're
down,
in big
down,
trouble.
down. Right. So there's always 2 questions at the end. The first one. When I meet the groups of young people at the start of every year, September, so coming up now, I get them to write 3 lists down. What job they want to do when they get older, doesn't really matter for the purpose of this. What they like doing outside of school, and the intention is to tie those things together if they can, because we can do it now. Third, and I'm going to change the question this year, but it used to be what do you want out of life, but it's not clear enough. What are you in pursuit of? That's what I want to be asking them. And that's what I mean when I ask them what they want out of life. So is it holidays? Is it a Ferrari? Is it the swimming pool in the back garden? Is it, and it's lovely when I hear this, young people writing down, I want a family. Like, I think that's great. And those things change as you go on. I've just shown you my list, and I change mine every couple of months and rethink it. And I want to know what I'm aiming for all the time.
Yeah.
And it's difficult because you've got to figure this out now. What are you in pursuit of now?
Right.
And there's more than one thing. Don't just say.
No, I think it's very. I think most people who I've come across who have their own business, vast majority of people do it. One, because they love what they do. But secondly, they're very aspirational. I think most business owners are very aspirational people and very driven. And it's one of those things, you work hard, you party hard.
Yeah.
And there's no better feeling than having a beer on a Friday night, knowing you've had a nice busy week and it's been worthwhile. So there's, and I'm no different to most people. Everyone wants a nice house, everyone wants to have a nice car, everyone wants to have nice holidays and to be comfortable in life. To have all those, it was a lot of hard work that goes before that.
Yeah.
But if you can work hard and have all of that, the beer or gin and tonic or whatever you drink tastes a lot nicer.
Yeah.
And it's just about being focused and working towards those points, or whatever points you pick.
But what is it you're in pursuit of? Is it more gin and tonics that feel like that on a night? Is it? Do you want another office? Do you want to double the turnover? Do you want to have 3 kids? What is it?
Well, in terms of,
I don't know how many kids you've got. You don't talk about it.
No. So in terms of the business, let me know. The business, in terms of moving the business forward.
What do you want? It doesn't have to be the business.
No, it's very clear for me. I mean, in terms of the business, in terms of personal life, having the best stuff that I can possibly afford in my life. Nice holidays, nice house, nice car, all those things. But in terms of the business, I know that if I want to be able to have a nicer life, that I have to grow the business. And growing the business for me is a big passion. I just want my business to be the best it can be, but also I want it to be the biggest and best online heating oil supplier there is in the UK.
Yeah. Okay.
And
so that's the aspiration.
That's the goal. That's the aspiration. That's what we drive towards.
Is there anything ridiculous that's way off in the future that one of these things that's like.
You mean apart from the private jets?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Like a really remote thing that's
Well, because of my desire and dreams to always want to be an airline pilot.
So you want to have a private jet so you can fly?
I wouldn't, not necessarily a private jet. I'd be happy with just a twin prop Cessna or a single prop Cessna. something like that. More than happy. But it's something in terms of outside of my business, I would love to go and get my private pilot's license,
Right.
and go down to the airfield on a Sunday or whatever and jump in there. I'd love to be able to do that.
Right.
And that's something that.
It's pretty cool. Actually.
Yeah, it's something I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I've actually got some lessons booked up
Oh wow.
to get the ball rolling.
That's cool.
So that's something I would love to be able to do. And
So how far away is that as a possibility of owning your own small plane? I don't know how much the cost.
I haven't even thought about owning a small plane or a plane, but in terms of getting a license to fly a plane, that is something I'd like to think I can get completed, certainly in the next 2 to 3 years. It's something I'd love to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely love to do.
It's quite cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm always thinking about what I'm in pursuit of, and I think it's one of the things that you can forget about easily. Anyone can forget about easily, and you're almost losing sight of your goal at that stage. You're getting up and going through the motions in the morning because you don't really know what you're in pursuit of. And I can think, even before I started writing lists down and changing them regularly, I can always think of what I was in pursuit of when I was 18, and then when I was 21, and when I was 25. Like, they've always been in my. Even when I was a kid, I was in a band. We used to do our rehearsals and recording around the corner here at Green Dragon Yard. Like, I knew what I wanted.
Yeah.
I want to be that. I want to play at this show. I want to support that big band. I want to get there. And I just feel like you don't have to be so goal orientated. That I've been in a business where we had to report 9 times a month our financial results. 9 times a month.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's a couple of times a week. It's not always the best, but you've got to have some kind of goals in mind about what you're going to do, and they've got to be short-term goals. So today I want to get this video done with you and get 100 views on it in the next half hour. That won't happen, mainly because you're not going up today, someone else is from a couple of days ago. But then I'd love to own a real sports. I'd love to own Newcastle Falcons, really. I'd love to own the Newcastle Falcons. I've always been.
Yeah.
Rugby was I always say rugby was my defining thing, and I wasn't great. I was a decent player at an amateur level as a kid and what have you.
Well, Steve Gibson, he wanted to play for Middlesbrough, but he couldn't, so he bought it.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Rugby was that defining thing for me. I remember being sat in this, it's really weird, in this jacuzzi when I was about 11. I shouldn't have been in it because he meant to be 16. I need to be in the jacuzzi. It's David Lloyd's.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that, Rob.
I'm sat there, and I'm sat with this lad who was my mate, and we were there for the summer holidays. And I remember thinking, I really want to be in the school rugby team. That's what I want more than anything. And when I go back to school, this was in the summer holidays, when I go back, I'm going to tackle everyone. Doesn't matter how big they are, doesn't matter if I can hurt. All I'm going to do.
They don't even have to have the ball.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's just if they're there, teachers, anyone. I'm just tackling everyone. And that's all I did. And within a couple of weeks, I was in the team.
Yeah.
And I was never then out of the team from then. So it was the only thing in school that I really got up for. And actually, if the school had spotted that and used that as an incentive rather than as a stick to beat me with, it may have been different.
Right.
But rugby means a lot to me in that sense because I think
You need to buy the Falcons then.
that's it.
Yeah.
But the guy who bought them spent 30 mil, I think, a couple of years ago. That was when they were up and down out of the Premiership. They're getting a new stand built. I think I'm away off. That's the remote dream for me.
Stand named after you.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do some charitable work there, maybe.
Yeah, good idea.
That's it. This one is the last question, and you've got to do it
I'm ready for it.
You've got to do it straight down the camera,
Okay.
which is quite hard. Now, if you've watched any of the other ones,
Yeah.
Bill Scott did a great one because he just ignored me and
Okay.
got right in the camera's face.
So can I just get up and leave if I'm not happy with the question?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay.
Just do what you like. Yeah, that'd be a good ending.
Yeah.
I forgot the question. Can you believe I forgot the question?
Thank God.
What was I going to ask you? What's the question that goes at the end of this video all the time? I remember now. So this while in the charity we work with looked after children and pupils with special education needs, and as a result, a lot of those individuals will end up watching this YouTube show.
Yeah.
It also gets used in classrooms, and DWP is starting to use this YouTube channel as a resource, which is quite cool, and it's spreading and spreading and spreading. So
Going viral.
yeah, well, I wouldn't quite say viral, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
You know, we're up to, we average 100 views a video.
That's good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy with that. A couple have got 200, so we'll have to see how you.
Well, if I'd known that, I would have put some gel in my hair.
That's it. It looks pretty good. So we've tried to make this for 13 to 25-year-old job seekers or career seekers. So it's a bit broader than what we work with in the charity, knowing that we're going to get a lot of the young people from the charity anyway watching this. It's a broad spectrum, 13 to 25.
Yeah.
What would in like 10 words or 20 words, no more than that, what would your advice be to those people if they're starting now to go and do whether they're going to start a business with it by maxing out credit cards for it with the advice you
don't max out credit cards.
Don't do that.
Don't max out 1, don't max out 3.
Yeah, that's the idea. But what is it if they're 25 and they want to go back into education, they're 18 and they want to start a business, they're 18 and they want a job as someone in a bank, that big generalised, what do you need to go and do? And you've got to do it straight down the camera, you've got to give it.
So the question is, what do you need to do to get where you want to be?
Yeah, what's your advice? What do you do? How do you start? A lot of people have said, pick something, work hard, commit, all these kind of things. I might have just answered it for you, but you could put your spin on it. It's from your experience.
Yeah. Right.
Ignore everybody. And
once you understand what you're going into, just understand if you're going to pick an industry and you know where you want to go within that industry, understand that industry. Understand your consumers, understand the suppliers within that sector, so you know what makes people tick. But just understand, and also I'm probably rambling, but I'll hurry it up.
No, it's good.
But
it's good.
Listen. So many people are guilty, and I was one of it. Thinking you know what you're doing when you don't. Just listen and absorb everything.
Yeah.
Because you find if you are interested in it, this is why I failed my GCSEs at school. I wasn't interested, so I didn't listen. But pick something you're interested in and listen and take it all in.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Have you enjoyed it?
Been very.
Was it as nerve-wracking as you thought?
It's been more enjoyable than I thought it would be.
That's good.
So hopefully I haven't rambled on and
I think it's been pretty good.
Waffled for too long. But thanks very much.
I think it's been pretty good. Cool. Nice one.
Thank you.